Hello and welcome to the Made in the AM podcast, episode 39. My name is Fie and you can find me on social media and Ravelry and everywhere else as BundgaardF. I'm recording a bit later today, well earlier than last time, later than I usually do, because I've been waiting for a package that I'll show you later on. But today we have something fun, two hoes, something sad, and well, something more fun as well, a purchase, which, spoiler alert, that's the package I was talking about. Right, since last time I told you I was going to a John Mayer concert in Herning, in Jyske Bankboxen, which I did. Louise and I met up beforehand and had dinner, and it was a really lovely evening. I don't think there's a proper set list for John Mayer's tour, because it seems like he has songs that he's put into different categories. His concerts are all set up like Act 1, Act 2. I think there were 5 parts, where the last one was the epilogue. Epilogue? I don't know what I'm... Anyway. He played... There were a couple of songs that I just wanted him to play. He only missed one. So, excellent concert. I'm not too fond of the new album, so... Hearing a lot of his old stuff, some of his really old stuff, was excellent. He brought along his John Mayer trio, so they gave 2 numbers, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. I only wish he would have sung Dear Marie. If he'd done that, I would have worshipped him. As it is, I just love his songs. Anyway, oh, no, never mind, lost it again. The fun thing, I got talking on Twitter with 2 of my friends about Weasley sweaters. Well, I would call it a jumper, but I think the patterns are called Weasley sweaters or Weasley jumpers. It's from the Harry Potter books. And I mentioned that, oh, I'd really love one, but Intarsia. Who wants to do Intarsia? Well, to be fair, a lot of people do. I don't. I've never really done Intarsia. I don't mind stranded or the Feral technique, but Intarsia, so. But it got stuck in my head, so I figured, okay, I can do a small mock-up. And also to see if I like the colours together and how I want to do the lettering and so on. Because of course I'm not going to do a Weasley jumper with Ron's first letter or an H or anything. I want my own. That's what a Weasley jumper is supposed to be. And I did a tiny mock-up with a little F on it. And it's so cute. And this will be sent off to my friend who has a house mouse called Godfrey. It was just a remark after sharing that, hey, I actually did something that might end out in a sweater or jumper at some point. Yes, it has a front and a back. Didn't do sleeves. The neck is a bit tight. I can use it as a finger puppet, or the jumper for a finger puppet. And I just joked that, oh, if Godfrey is willing to change his name to Fort Grey, he can have this little jumper. And she said, well, he probably would for a jumper, for a Weasley jumper. So I'm sending this off to my friend, for Godfrey the Mouse, or as he will now be known, Fort Grey the Mouse. And hopefully he won't eat it as soon as he gets it. So that's my little fun thing. I do like the colours together. They're coming out pretty true to colour on my screen at least. So yeah, could you imagine a larger size on me? These colours? I think it might have to happen. Now I know I could do it in like a blue or something, but I don't know. There's something about Weasley jumpers and being in Gryffindor colours. Yeah. Actually, if I make it, I might do the bottom ribbing with 2 stripes of the gold. Should break it up a bit. Maybe. I don't even know what I'm talking about because it's just this silly idea that I'm not even sure that I'm going to do, because it would mean having to seam the sides. I would probably do a short row sleeve cap, meaning that I'd pick up stitches around the sleeve and then work back and forth for the sleeve cap and then work in the round. But still, I would have to knit the front and back and forth and seam that. It's an idea. Maybe I'll do it. Maybe. And this is just some super soft, I think it's Mayan Swit, which means it's like 2009-ish. So, oldish stash. Now, that's the fun part. Let's go for the hose, shall we? My first hoe is out of this yarn, which is a creamy base with different flecks of colors. It's by Hedgehog Fibers. It's in their sock weight or sock base, and it's so soft. Yeah, it's a club colorway called Spore, and it reminds me of Alien Takeovers. I don't know why. It's really pretty, and I shouldn't have placed other things on top of it. Let's just see if we can manage. There we go. And this is the sock. It was just finished today while I was waiting for the parcel to arrive. So this pattern, just look, I'm so in love with the combination of the colorway and the pattern and just the softness. This pattern is Bluebird Cafe, which is a Miss Marple inspired pattern by Olivia Villarreal. I think she's also This Handmade Life. Something like that. This Handmade Life. Anyway, you can find a pattern on Ravelry, and it's a paid for pattern. It was, I think it was for like $4 or something, or £4. I'm not sure. €4. It wasn't a whole lot. Let's just put it at that. It only comes in one size, which is the 64 stitch. Now I have modified it for a 72 stitch sock, which meant altering the stitch pattern just this tiniest bit. Yeah, not a whole lot. On the pattern, I was going to say that, the only thing I've substituted is the heel. In the pattern it's a short row heel. Here I've done it bottom double gusset. I have 9 repeats on the first and 6 repeats on the second. And I've started it 12 centimeters in. But on the pattern, the original pattern, you only do the patterning on the front and you have a plain back. I wasn't thinking when I was knitting this, so I just started doing the patterning on both sides, which means I have this here columns separating them on both sides. And to be honest, I don't mind. It doesn't bother me. It took me a while to realize that, oh, of course that's what's going to happen, because it's not a perfect repeat. But I don't mind. And they fit my foot well, despite what the sock blogger might suggest. Yeah. As I said, I've just finished it this morning. Well, morning. It's 1:30 right now, so not too bad. Well, it's pretty bad because I haven't had my lunch yet, because I set everything up, waited for my notification that my parcel was ready to be picked up at the Gillis shop, and set everything up and didn't get lunch, just went down to pick up the parcel as soon as I could and came back, sat down to record. So, but yeah, that's my hoe. Bluebird Cafe, 2.25mm needles, 1x1 twisted rib, Jenny surprisingly stretchy bind off, and yeah. Now I have to knit the second one so I can enter them in the Naughty Knitwits May socket. And my other hoe, there we go. My other hoe uses this yarn. This yarn is Knit Picks. It's Knit Picks. I have a project page on Ravelry. It's Knit Picks. The colorway is Cocoa. I wish I knew. They come in hanks. I didn't buy it myself, I got it from someone. No, I have a second hank of it, so I was just looking to see if maybe I had it around here, but I don't. Anyway, my second hoe is knitting this. Oh, it's a sock weight yarn or finger weight yarn. I think it's actually a sock yarn, without knowing for sure because I don't have the tag on me. And this is my hoe. This is the Vela pattern by Isolde Teague. It's in her Whimsical Little Knits Part 2 or Volume 2. And this is another pair of fingerless mitts for my friend Camilla. This takes her up to, this is the third pair. Yeah. It's a bit snug on the, this is the large size. It only comes in a small and a medium. No, small and large. And I'm a large. And it's a bit snug on me, so it'll be hopefully perfect on Camilla because she is a medium. But yeah, I have one done. What I did was, you knit this part first, the cuff, and there's a right, there we go, that's the right side. There's a right and a left cuff. So there's a chart for each one. Then you pick up stitches here in the slip stitches and you knit it around, going up. You get a spine, a fun little spine on the thumb gusset, and there's a little leaf on the back. So that way you can always tell your right from your left, because the leaf goes on top. And you have these little buttons. I chose these, well, they're blowing out because of the light, but I don't know if this makes it any clearer. No. I like them. These were just in my button stash and I really like them. I wish they were bigger because I really think these would look great on the shirt I'm sewing. I'll show you in a little bit. But yeah, one done. The second one, I mean, this took one evening. And I wasn't even, it wasn't a full attention evening, so this could easily be done today, which is good because I'm seeing Camilla on Tuesday, and then she can have this pair and the pair I showed you last week. And I might do a fourth pair for her. I don't know. Depends on whether I find something that I think is just like perfect. And something I have the yarn for, because I'm still knitting down the stash, which you can't tell, but I'm attempting to at least. So yeah, you won't see this as a hoe, but you will be able to see a photo on my Ravelry page when it's done, and I'll probably put it on Instagram too. And we had the happy, we had the two hoes. Should we go with the sad? Well, it's sort of sad, it's not really that sad. But you might remember this bag. You might remember what's inside this bag, which is the Morning Mist top. That's still in this bag because I have run out of the yarn and I need more than I can just cheat my way through, basically. So, top, yay, yay, more yay, and boo. This is I knit from this part down to here before I ran out, and it's I need like 2.5 rows, and then this section would be done and I could move on to the dark grey. Well, the thing is that I would probably need a dark grey and another stripe, or another half stripe for the length. Still need to do the sleeves, the etchings here and the colour neck etching. And I have none of the light grey left. This little morsel, well, big morsel, of the dark grey, which means it won't be enough for a stripe. And this of the green, the hyssop. Now, this is only sad because I mentioned before that I had, in a previous podcast, that I checked Loop London, where I got this yarn from, and they had this base, Bowl & DK, from Eden Cottage Yarns, in stock in the charcoal and the steel. Well, they did, but when I ran out, they'd sold out. And I checked the Eden Cottage Yarns website. They do have Berlin DK, but they only had the hyssop of the colours that I'm using. They had other really lovely colours, but since I'm going to order the yarn anyway, I figured this hair. Yeah, I knit my own hair into everything. Since I'm going to have to order the yarn, I want it to be the same colorways. If I didn't have to, if I was just going dash diving to find like enough for the last garter edge part or something, I could just do a contrast color or something. But I'm doing more than that, so I really want the same colors. Now, I contacted Loop, and they said that apparently Eden Cottage Yarns have had trouble getting the base, but Loop are going to be ordering soon because they have the base back in stock, and she'll make a note of the colors I need, how much I need, and they'll let me know as soon as they get it so I can order it. Only problem is it'll take a couple of months. So this is going into hiatus until I can get my yarn. And I'm just going to move this little progress creeper that I'm using. I really should get proper progress keepers because I love my pig so much. My pig, which isn't in use on anything right now, but yeah, I really love it, and it's more fun to have than just these plastic ones. But I haven't found anything that I'm thinking, oh, that's what I want. Or maybe that's not true. I have found some that I think, oh, I really like that one. But then I'll only see one thing I like in the Etsy shop, and it's like, well, I'm not going to pay postage on just one. So, yeah. Also, part of it is because I'm limiting myself to the EU. So, that's the sad. I have one last work in progress. It's the Confetti tunic by Henny Felgenberg. I showed you last week. I was just about to start this second row of blue here last week, and now I have just finished a row of blue down here. It's working up nicely. It's not the most interesting. The only interesting part is the part you do right after the blue stripes, and of course doing the increases because you have to count, but you only do them once for every repeat. But yeah, this will be a rounded yoke, and you knit this until you separate for the sleeves. So I think there's supposed to be 7 blue stripes before I separate for the sleeves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 5 blue stripes. And now I feel like the Count from Sesame Street, or Sesamstrasse as I know it. And I mentioned that it's a Henny Felgenberg kit, and I know the Danes probably know what I'm talking about. You might even have seen that particular kit or the tunic. But for the rest of you who don't know her or haven't seen her, you can only buy her stuff in kits. And your kit comes like this. Sorry, I can't see, so it might be a little flare. So you get this little tag here with all of her information on it. And on the bag it says that this is confetti, and it's the combination one, and it cost me 540 kroner. kits are not cheap. And comes with 5 of these light grey skeins and 1 blue skein. And in the end here, you have a photo of what it'll look like. And there's supposed to be a paper pattern here, a little booklet, but it's over there, and I'm not going to go up and grab it. But that's what one of her kids look like. And you get a little, I haven't handed this one out of it, but down here, the blue part here, it's just some information about how to wash this yarn, or that it can, the dye, it can have excess dye. Some of her colours are worse than others. I have another kid that I don't think I finished, because just knitting with it stained my fingers. It was terrible, and then I lost my way. But you also get a little fabric tab that you can sew into the neck of your garments, which just says Hanne Falkenberg design, or Hanne Falkenberg. But with something like this, where you don't have a difference between the front and the back, might be handy to have a label in the back. And that concludes the knitting portion of our show. Oh, I'm wearing my portico, not because it's warm out, just because I felt like it. Now, sewing. I only have one project on the go. It's the project I mentioned last week, and which, had I already cut for it last week? I don't remember. Anyway, that's the one in the back. That is the back yoke, back piece, and 2 front pieces all sewn together at the shoulders. That's all that's done to it. It is the Colette Violet pattern. Now I'm doing the body from this, and the sleeves from version 2, here, the long sleeves, of the Colette Aster, which I have previously sewn 2 versions of. I've sewn version 1, but with the long sleeves, and version 3, which is basically just the same body with different sleeves. Now, the sleeve, I had to redraft this a tiny bit, because I would say armkuppel in Danish, and I just said what it was on the, but anyway, this part here is not the same length and the ratio from top to sides not the same on the 2. So what I did was I took this part from the violet, because it has to fit into the sleeve cap. There we go, cap, the sleeve cap has to fit into the sleeve of the blouse, and then the rest of it I did as the Aster. Now I brought along 2 things to show you. One part is the sleeve, because as you can see here, if I hold it up, I have done this sleeve placket. I don't know if it's called a sleeve placket, I am calling it a sleeve placket. Basically what it is what gives you room to move when you have put your shirt on. So this is also where there'll be a cuff down here, and the button will be here. This sleeve placket here, which you have going up here and you have down each side, it's actually attached to the back. When you first sew it, you sew it to the back, then you cut this line here and you pull it through and sew it down on this side. What it looks like before you do all of that is this little thing, this little guy. Now this one's been pressed and folded, so it doesn't look like the original. But can you see the lines I've traced here? Yeah, the middle one is you sew the outer lines, and then you cut the middle line and pull it through. And that's how you get your little sleeve placket. And it also means that you don't have all of the edges, raw edges, are encased, so you don't have to worry, well, except for the bottom, but that will be encased too, so you don't have to worry about anything coming undone or unraveling. But yeah, I really like this fabric. I think it'll be such a great summer piece to wear. Having said that, summer piece, long sleeves. I was planning on doing a short sleeve, but sorry about that. But at the same time, I really like the way a cuff sleeve looks, and I could either modify the heck out of one of the sleeves, because this sleeve option that the Colette Violet has, I'm not sure it's a very flattering length. I don't know. I know this sleeve fits because I've done this sleeve before, and I'm planning on doing felt seams on the sleeves only. The rest is just finished seams. But I'm planning on felling these, which means that you won't get the raw edge or the serged look. That way I can roll up the sleeves and it'll look finished. But yeah, I can roll up my sleeves to elbow length. I can choose to wear them down. It'll just give me more versatility. And to be honest, this part here really scared me the first time I did it. Now it's just like, oh, that's all there was to it. So yeah, doing something multiple times makes it easier. Well, some things multiple times just makes it easier. And this placket here is one of them. Another thing I wanted to show you is that when I made this out of the bird fabric, I mentioned how you had a lot of pieces for the collar. Well, I couldn't really demonstrate for you because I had already seen the collar at the time, but let's go through it. We have one back collar piece which has fusible lining on it. That goes together with one front collar and lining for the front, which also has fusing on it. And same goes for the other side, including fused lining. Then we have the actual, and that's what's hidden on the inside. That's just lining the collar. Then we have the actual collar, which is sewn together from one collar piece, two collar pieces overlapped with a fusible lining inside. So you sew these together, right sides together, sew it all up, notch the inside curve, turn it right side out and edge stitch everything. And then you sew it with the rest onto the collar of the shirt and turn everything around so that you are left only with the collar. So that's what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pieces to draft and cut out just to do the collar and front lining. Yeah. And it's classed as a beginner pattern. The techniques aren't hard, but it's a lot of work. Now, the fun part we've been waiting for is sewing related. It is, see, I haven't even opened it. I can reveal that it's from Meter, which is a fabric shop in Aarhus. And on Instagram yesterday, or the day before, I think it was only yesterday. I'm pretty sure it was only yesterday. Oh, that's fast. Sorry about the noise. There we go. Let's pull it out. Everything's been packaged up really nicely and crinkly. So I was saying, yesterday on Instagram I saw that Meter on their profile had put up a post. It was a repost of one of the customers who had done a kimono style top from one of their patterns in one of their fabrics, and it looked really amazing. Here's the info from the company, and they always include fabric swatches. Actually, really like this one. Something's blinking at me. I don't know. Anyway, Swim to kimono top from Name Clothing is the pattern, and I actually got 2 colors of the fabric. I got a blue with cherries and black with cherries. And this one's slightly heavier than the other. So the one I saw on the post was in the black, but I love blue, so I couldn't resist getting the blue. I don't know if I'll make the sewing to top out of both of them, but I just couldn't resist. So I got 2 meters of each, and they just feel so nice. It's a tencel blend. Love the packaging on the pattern as well. So anyway, my camera's blinking at me, but it says it's still recording. I will see you next week, maybe with a finished shirt, maybe not. All depends on how this goes. Maybe I'll have to start on this. Oh, I need to finish the other one first. It's hard being me. So hard. Anyway, bye.